assemble his core team. LSE was on a mission to scout into tribal villages in India. The eagle was selected as their charity of choice. As a chief guest at one of Eagle's musical, shared his challenging journey of education. And you heard grandchildren. How much he valued education and growth. By him sponsoring an IVD. IVD, for your information, is an acronym for Integrated Village Development, embracing a cluster of 30 villages with schools, health service, women empowerment centers like tailoring schools, complete and organic farming. His caring and inquisitive mind wanted to know of their. All replied affirmatively. Said they could only attend occasionally due to remoteness and lack of transport. Speaks volumes for Ramanbhai. To the young ladies overnight. Little did I know that in just 8 years from our first meeting, paying tribute to Ramanbhai, diligent, meticulous, kind, and loving philanthropist. In the heavenly abode, wish and celebrate.
Thank you. And thank you for all the work you did for us and all the work you did in India. We really, really appreciate it. Next, we'd like to welcome Mr. Janal Svidas to the stage. Janal was one of Papa's closest friends, and you rarely see Papa without Janal by his side.
Yes. Around the globe. We
bring love. The entire Das family embraced me, making me one of their own. The beautiful, getting gentle giant. I am honored to call him my friend. I have to help people. He had a genuine concern for the future of my family in Africa and encouraged me to relocate to Houston, taking time out of his busy day to come with me, navigate the immigration system. In 2001, he encouraged me to bring my wife and children and settle here in Houston and become part of the Das family. Thus began our journey and adventure in life together. Yes, I met countless people who shared the same journey, coming into Ramanbhai society, their families to immigrate to the United States and to share in the American dream. He had no ego. He never told anybody about what he did. He quietly helped. He loved America for all that America gave to him and his family. He was a patriot and a lifelong supporter of the experiment that is America. Every time he was ready to buy a new car, he would say, "Hey Jim, let's go buy a Mercedes." So we would go to the dealership. We would select the model, the accessories, the color, take the test drive, do the paperwork, and come home with an American caddy. He had a great sense of humor. In a room full of people, often he shared these nuggets of wisdom interwoven. Veg and some non-veg. I learned to listen carefully, make some jokes. And one time, after meeting he quietly said to this person in party, he said, "I make and drank alcohol, and I am a sinner. Forgive me. But I was later down that journey, I asked him, what did that mean?" And the person who we were talking to had done so many things to his own family. It was shocking to me. But he saw life with clarity like no other. He could sum up something in one sentence. I find it hard. He often shared that life was made up of 4 equal parts of 20 years each. Please. In the first 20 years, long before GPS and Google Maps, we were driving out on the New Jersey Turnpike, late in the middle of the night with lots and lots of rain and hopelessly lost. In the morning, his only mission. So we got to the hotel around 12 o'clock midnight. And in the morning, his only mission, find this place that he had read on the billboard. In all this chaos, thing that he saw was the billboard that said, "The world's largest breakfast." Guess what Ramanbhai was looking for? The world's largest breakfast. So we made, and it turned out to be a hilarious experience. Pancakes the size of large 20-inch pizzas stacked up high, half a foot. Serve an army. and he just spoke of this often and with affection. And many of this type of adventure came from being lost. He had a very interesting take on life, and every time we got a rental car and drove down, they make a U-turn. He said to me, "Hey Jim, as soon as we leave the rental car lot, make a U-turn." Made many. You made many. He loved humanity. We once sat through an hour-long presentation and a new investment opportunity. Of course, we were business people. We were looking for investment opportunities. Imtiaz is over there. He can tell you. We often found interesting things. Mr. Crane will tell you how many companies he formed for us and how many ventures we got into. The investment opportunity was presented, and he asked one question: "What's the objective of this company?" And the guy said very proudly, "To make a lot of money, Mr. Das." And he said, "Okay, even a drug dealer can make a lot of money. So let us know when you've got something that changes humanity." Such was the humanitarian. He was a champion of the underdog. I noticed the exceptional service they were giving him all the time we walked in there. It was very and the elderly couple shared something with me. They said many years ago, Ramadas had come in here. He didn't know who we were. He was a US. He noticed that the electric company had sent a man to take the meter out. They had forgotten to pay the electric bill in all their haste when they were trying to open their restaurant. True Ramadas fashion, he got up in his pocket, never expecting to be repaid. Paid the bill. They were ever so indebted to him. Not because they didn't have the money, but because the electric they had a lifelong relationship based on that one experience. Speaking of underdogs, he loved betting on the underdog in the Super Bowl. And people were always second guessing him. But the next day, I was the counter. Because everybody else was betting on the favorites. Here's Ramadas betting on the underdog. And then when we won a pile of money, he invited 20 people to the table and he was a believer in freedom for all humanity. In his own way, he lived the teachings of Gandhi. Seeing how Gandhi had lived with, he was moved to tears by the formidable strength he had shown against the British Empire. Martin Luther King was another one of his. A few months ago, we got the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. on the Mall and stand in front of Martin Luther King's monument and have a picture taken with the classic pose. He didn't just stop there. He looked up at his hero and he said, "You know, if more people could learn to live like Martin Luther King's words," he said, "unfortunately, there was a hearing problem." He said, "Well, Martin Luther King said, the dream of the world heard, I had a drink." But they still there. And humanity is a sad. He was a true Karma Yogi. Many of us are here because of him. He believed in hard work and providing for his family. More importantly, I recall a phone call from a young hotelier in Texas many years ago, and many, many after that, in a similar vein. He told me that when his father passed away many years ago, and when Ramanbhai had helped his family financially to save their motel, now that they were able to repay the debt, he wanted to know how much interest he should pay Ramanbhai. I relayed the message to Ramanbhai. After much, he figured out eventually that he must have done something, and he refused the interest and asked them to do for somebody else for them. He didn't need religious books to guide his actions. His actions were always perfect because they were carried out in a manner that positively impacted others around him. He loved education. On our long to so many cities, he often shared with me his fondest memories of going to their primary school and sitting on the floor and learning from passionate teachers with very little. And he shared how lonely he felt when he moved with his in rural Malawi. There were no schools and no friends. He has supported many Malawian students. Not even his family is aware of it. He sent many checks. We made here and was stranded and put means to pay for their education. He did this out of his heart and out of his heart, never mentioning it to anybody. When we visited their primary school, he was moved to tears and vowed to do something more for rural education. Recently, through his efforts, a new school was constructed. You've heard of it. I felt honored to be associated with that school and to make my small contribution, and I will continue to do. If you do nothing else today to honor Raman Das, his friendship and his life journey, please make a contribution to their primary school. We share 21 years. Experience his unconditional love for people. I have witnessed his caring nature. I have benefited from the wisdom. Being the family in Houston. Our family has stood with me in all the trials and tribulations. And that's my friend. Mentor, my friend. His shoes would be hard to fill. I would try. That you all too try to do the same. Thank you, and Ranchhodji. Sure, if he's here, Rahul ready? Perfect. Rahul Reddy is an immigration attorney that I'll work with. My association with Mr. Ramandas started last millennium. All the immigration troubles the family has gone through, a lawyer at that time, he would not have hired me as a lawyer. How did he end up hiring a lawyer? Actually, he wanted to hire Mr. Halim, God bless him. He was my mentor and I used to work with Mr. Halim. So I went to Mr. Halim because at that time there was a provision that allowed
any person who is here who is working in motors can get a green. So he went to Mr. Halim. Mr. Halim said, I'm retiring, but Mr. Rahul Reddy, he will take care of you. But he's just start releasing. No, he will take care of it. You go to him. So Mr. Halim called. Mr. Ramandas is coming, we need him take care of him. Mr. Ramandas came to my office and said that if me too. And since you're highly recommended by Mr. Halim, he needs to be, and he wants to get involved in everything. He has so many different companies. Everything, I told him what the conditions needed, what the documents needed, he noted down all. Then comes the money count. You know, I know hard-headed guy, I fix my fees, I never quite do. It's the biggest deal of my life at that point. So I said to Mr. Ramandas, 4,000 fees so that I would. Then he said, that fees is not acceptable. He said it's 4,400. Everybody of my employees to get a green card doesn't have a green card. And it's just not the money payment, it's just not the way he made sure every case, requirement, I need to go to advertising, he gets involved in it. These people will be interviewed by the immigration. He used to come to the interview. Mr. Ramandas is not allowed into the immigration building. He used to wait outside wait for the people to get the green card. He wanted to see the people there at this employee. All the way to San Antonio just to so many times he drove me to San Antonio. Way he used to take care. If I were his employee, I would work 10 times more than to any other employee, even if they give me double money. Thanks for his solo practitioner. Now I can now Ramandas says, God bless.
Mr. Salaku is from the Malawi Book Project and also
Good evening. My name is David Salako, and I live here in the Greater Houston area with my wife and two little boys. Share some of my memories and experiences. I respectfully and fondly. Years ago, in 2018, in the great city of Atlanta, Georgia, I had the good fortune to attend Indian Malawian diaspora. I heard about this planned conference at an earlier Malawi experience to attend and meet with other Malawians, friends of Malawi, share perhaps even deeper roots in some way to the corner of Africa. While in Atlanta for 2 days, my plan was to meet new people, enjoy generously provided by our wonderful hosts. And also in attendance were two Malawian ambassadors to the United States and the United Nations, respectively. Of my volunteer literacy efforts in Malawi. It was a speech that I had not prepared for. I didn't plan to speak. I planned to drink a lot and then go back home to Houston. In this impromptu speech, I shared about being born in Blantyre, my northern corner of Malawi, our eventual departure from extended families, my cousins, across the world for various reasons, which I don't have to go into if you knew the political situation in Malawi. In those many years away from Malawi, I never forgot about home, generosity of people back home in Malawi. Furthermore, I shared about my parents' eventual return to Malawi in the 2010s and my visit to their property and being moved by the extraordinary access to books by most rural Malawians. Just the idea of shocking reality that followed me back to Houston. When I got back to Houston, some generous friends, the help of some famous Malawians like William Win, and we were able to raise some funds and ship two 40-foot containers of books that we curated amounted to about 80,000 books, which we used to set up about 50 libraries in villages all over northern Malawi. With enough sponsorship and financial backing, we were able to curate these books, and our largest expense at the time was the shipping of the books, which cost 12,000 Mozambique and into Malawi. I thank the audience for indulging me in my impromptu speech. The events were wrapping up in Atlanta. A gentleman suddenly stood up at the front of the room. Young man from Houston, who had earlier talked about books and shipping books to Malawi and shipping costs. That gentleman's name was Mr. Ramanbhai. He came in front of the group to help us with covering the cost of shipping for at least one container a year, 140-foot container a year, to different parts of Malawi for the next few years. He didn't put a cap on how many years he was going to help us. Check that I've not drunk too much wine, or everyone seemed very happy. The wine was flowing, and I wanted a picture of correctly, and he invited me to. By his generosity, and went back to Houston, and I hope for the best. A few months later, in Houston a couple of times, and he complimented our team and our dedication, our energy, and sense of generosity. Mr. Das also gave me advice on where we could get a better in Houston, and sort of discussed real estate sales pitch skills because our operation was far bigger, far more precise than he had first imagined. He was very kind. He eventually paid for two 40-foot containers, shipped about 85,000 books, one to Limbe support 18 existing and new rural library locations in that thousands have benefited and are continuing to benefit from this of the knowledge contained within these books. My volunteer literacy efforts are not the only thing Mr. Dax and I talked about during what became more regular discussions and meetings the last 4 years. He would tell me about his early years in Malacca was a settlement I knew almost nothing about, except the one thing I knew about Malacca is that it was the halfway point when you were driving from the city of Blantyre to Lilongwe. I've been there as a child a few times. Real items, little statues and things that are still present in the homes of some of my cities. Serious when he just initially charged the realities of life and in Malawi. Share with you that on a deeper level, he felt that his community could, or maybe should have. I did share, though, that my experience was not only observing racism, but also sort of really beautiful. Much of that also contributed to my own family being exiled in one form or the other, and scattered across the world on 3 continents. Children, his nephews, his grandchildren, all his efforts to emigrate to England and subsequently at some point within my thought, maybe I misheard it. Struggles and the challenges in getting himself and everyone else he greatly loved and cared about settled and successful in the new world. As the eldest in my family, I too share some of the leadership mantle and underwent similar trials and triumphs to get my 5 siblings settled in the United States. I also noticed that when he would talk about his family members, he would not focus on fortitude and to show them examples of kindness. I came to also learn about his philanthropy in India and how much he loved going there. I surmised that he was a very busy man and derived some final thoughts. I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs, most academics, intellectual types, and entrepreneurship is kind of foreign to my upbringing. And my father became somewhat of a father figure to me, giving me pointed advice on how to succeed with the prototypes and enterprising some data science exams and courses out of the blue. Asking for was something he just did, just listening to me talk about to accomplish or achieve in my life. Station focused on his purchase of some hospitality properties in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, which he and some business partners had managed to close, and he said it was one of the crowning business achievements of his life. The near future for him was full of excitement. He also congratulated me on the purchase of our new and asked property prices and talking about that was also talked about my surprise quadruple heart bypass surgery, which I just had 8 weeks ago. He told me that all would be well, should be strong. You know, that's typically found this energetic enthusiasm. I would like to think maybe I would get to meet him at least one more time, some fashion. Ziko Mopambili, Ramanbhai. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sulaco. If we could also Bhakta come to the podium. This is a family friend of ours.
Ramkuri, first of all, I would like to thank Savita Mami and entire Das Parivar for allowing me to speak here today. Raman, Mama, since me and my sister were growing up in India, only thing we knew, this is Raman Mama, Dera Mama, and Mama. Raman Mama was really like, let me draw the connection. The relationship is, my Nani is real sister of Raman Mama. But if the third person has to figure it out, he wouldn't have figured out that my mother was his real sister. That's the kind of relationship he always kept and maintained throughout his life. Great memories, a lot of good experiences with Raman Mama. He was a very kind-hearted, very helpful person. I'd like to say a couple of things. Back in the early 80s, when we first came from India, that was the first time we were flying anywhere. And all of a sudden, we came from a small village and landed at how to find a connecting flight to or anything like that. And next thing we know, the Raman Mama walks in with a big smile on his face. And we also immediate one because he cared. And I have a lot of experiences like that throughout the life. But I would like to share another thing. Little over a year ago, my wife had a very serious car wreck, and for couldn't even tell what was the real. And Mama was trying to get in touch with me, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to talk to him because I had so many phone calls. But he texted me and he texted me and let me know. And one of the texts that I remember, he sent me, saying, Deepak, hang in there. Do not worry about anything. Mama is your phone call away. For anything, just give me a call. And that was so comforting for me. And Mama's love, care, and concern for personally me will forever remain in my heart. And in my opinion, these few lines in Gujarati best describes who Raman Mama was. પરિવાર જેમનું મંદિર હતું સ્નેહ જેમની શક્તિ હતી, પરિશ્રમ જેમનું કર્તવ્ય હતું, પરમાર્થ જેમની ભક્તિ હતી, કર્મ સદા એવા કર્યા કે સૌના હૃદયમાં ગુંજ્યા કર્યું. આપનો પ્રેમાળ સ્વભાવ તમારા પ્રેરણાદાયક રહેશે. પ્રભુ દિવ્ય આત્માને શાંતિ આપે, તે જ પ્રાર્થના. રામ.
And before our final speaker, we'd like to invite Mr. Robert Crane, who's
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Crane. So the problem sometimes of being back in the 1990s, probably so that was my first introduction to him. And then he came back and I was in our office. But he and I would frequently take some time to ourselves to sit with families, politics, deep appreciation for who Ron was. We never talked much. It was the word passing. But what I noticed as much as anything is that Ron spoke with affection. Yeah, share a story with you. I think understand their heritage, to understand the differences in lifestyles, to understand his spoke language. The next thing I thought I would touch on, and I don't need to say too much about it, but I always enjoy. If it came time for him to speak, he would say, anybody who can speak volumes of things and so understood, he knew what he thought, he didn't have to say, Raman would say, I can walk with oh, that's sir. The other thing, and all these have been touched on, and didn't seek recognition, he just did it. Because he wanted to do it. And for the beneficiaries of his kindness and his he was building a business, really not so much for the money, but one day when he knew he would be here. Carry on and function without him. They'll miss him.
Next, we'd like to call up Vishwan. Just quickly, Vishwan. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Arjun and Satya. Thank you, India, Naren, Scott, David, Deepak, Jim, and Robert for all the wonderful words. To share their stories today. The reality is everyone's hungry for Dad's favorite dinner, so I'm going to wrap up with some of my thoughts about that. Here we go. I had the chance to travel to Malawi. It was Dad's first time back to Malawi since he had left. And I discovered a word that I think sums up Dad's life beautifully. It's a Chichewa word, umutu.
In Swahili, it's Ubuntu. It has different meanings. One meaning is humanity, but in a more profound sense, it means the belief in a universal bond that connects all of you. Its most common translation is, to me, that's what sums up Dad's life. I am who you are. In other words, he was who he was. He's always intuitively known that his own individual success tasted sweet only if the people he loved had success also. Because we are Ubuntu. And because he understood that philosophy of Ubuntu, Dad became an amazing investor, a big investor in the Warren Buffett. I've already found out he invested his time and money in the most valuable asset on the planet. He used the most valuable currency that anyone has, his time and attention. He always had time for you. He didn't give you attention just once, but he gave it to you time and time again. He made a habit out of it. He always had time for you. He always had time to listen. And also to set you straight if you needed that too. But most importantly, he had time to connect with you. And he had time to see who you really were. He had a way of elevating people that he came in contact with. As Ethan reminded me 2 days ago, Dad's question, if you did something or something happened, it was always, why not? When you came home with 3 A's and 2 B's, he wouldn't say, why did you get 2 B's? He would always say, hey, that's great. That's fantastic. Why not 3 A's next time? Yes, I know we've tried that on our kids, right? And kids give us crazy stares and roll their eyes at us. We can't get over that good. It was his sincere and kind delivery. His tone was never one of disappointment or dissatisfaction. It was always delivered in a happy way that challenged and motivated you to think better. When you said, I just had, he would say, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Let's celebrate. Then he would say, why don't you hold 5 years? And in a way that only Dad could deliver. Well, sure, again, why not? I'm sure my brother got this exact same sequence of. Dad probably said to him, that's fantastic, son. Congratulations. Celebrate. By the way, why not build 50? And look at my brother now, look at what he's accomplished. Dad would be proud and celebrated your successes. And even when your hubris get the better of you and you gotta be, he would be okay with that and celebrate that too. Never tried to rein you in. He always understood that we could all do better. And he would challenge you to do it. When you got a big head, he would always, what's next? It was sad, so we took everything he said to heart because he knew he was challenging you. And when he was challenging you, it came from a very sincere place, from his love for you. The world was big, and he wanted you to philosophy of whether you liked it or not. With his guidance and support, he created a system where the answer. I don't know if there many obstacles that he couldn't go through or get over or go around. Dad was street smart, and there was not a problem he couldn't solve. If he couldn't solve a problem, he knew someone that could. He knew someone that could. He was a fixer. Guess what he said yes to me about? He said yes to buying an Ag museum, so let's get to it. The funny thing is that before Dad was Dad, before he took on his responsibilities, he was a total hipster. He dressed in the coolest clothes, grew out his hair, and had this wickedly long sideburns. He was an Indian hippie. He embraced everything that Martin Luther King and all this while living in Malawi. He was always up to date on all of the current events. Yeah, because he loved reading. He got a lot done with the limited resources he had. In a different generation, he would have been known as a total baller. He lived large. He did things that defied logic. He was fearless. He could talk to anyone and he could get anything he wanted done. That same spirit happily lives in the two people, my brother and my brother. When, Dad always likes to joke around and he was a prankster. When I was recently in India, Justin Massey related a story. When Dad was in Malawi with the store, he used to always send care packages back to India. Justin Massey, his younger unmarried sister-in-law, was of course expecting her customer package of her condolences from Dad. So Dad sent her another package. He sent it COD, meaning that she had to pay for the postage to pick it up. She was so excited. She borrowed some money, retrieved the and with it, a note that translated to, please get off my payroll and go get married. Then she had a big laugh at the joke and got married soon after that. He had this gift of making everyone feel special. While Dad was everyone's favorite, Dad himself had his favorites in the family. He always said that the Goss family fortune skyrocketed, and we really hit the lottery like 3 others. I think by that time, he had had enough of all the business that my brother and I did. Farland Green enjoyed being on top of the Goss mantle for a very long time. Stopped when Dylan was born. It was game over for Dad. He pivoted and adapted and to become an amazing grandfather. Then many years later, Mira came along. Dad had always called both of his granddaughters. Dylan and Mira were his goddesses of good fortune. And he was right. They both absolutely. I learned more and more about that. And as I seek to understand his full truth, his life, a truth emerges. And Dad's family was not just us. It wasn't just his extended family. It was not just his Samaj, but his family included everyone that he knew. He brought everyone in to make them His humanity extends to so many people. Destination endeavor, I realized that Dad is actually out here in the US. We already knew about all the people in India, but also another one in India in which we knew nothing. There were so many people that came up to the spyline and started telling stories of how Dad helped them to solve this problem or that problem. It invested in schools and women's cooperatives, gave them financial. So many stories we would never know about. So many stories Dad didn't tell us because he always focused on you and how he could help you. Even in India, many people call him Bapa or Papa. And I think Chetan, who's for the past 15 years, Chetan was Dad's adopted son, Dad's confidant, and Dad's sister. He was with Dad and Mom all the time when they were in India. You know the phrase, behind every man stands a strong woman? Well, here's to you, Mom. Dad spread his wings and soared high and did all of these amazing things because he had you to carry the burden with him. Mom, you stood by Dad, made sacrifices in India, Malawi, England, and here in the United States. With the sheer determination and hard work, you helped to execute Dad's vision. In any other lifetime, you would have been a successful chief operations officer. Well, I know you were always protective of your family, and it drove you nuts when Dad said no to anyone who asked for his help, especially in those years when our family was struggling. But I think even Dad knew at that time, and he had full confidence that we were going to make it. You never need to worry about it. You and Dad have built a strong family foundation. We've always had more than enough, and we'll always continue to have more than enough. But Dad has taught all of us well. Collectively, all of us can step up, make our contributions, and carry Dad's legacy forward. Dad, the true mark of your legacy is in the people. Your spirit of movement, your grand nature, and your fearlessness live in the newest generation of leaders. Dad, thank you for being the Superman in my life and in the lives of so many others. Because we are.
Thank you, Bishop. I'll leave you all with some closing thoughts. And what Papa did for you, she's in many of his qualities. We ask that you select one of these traits and adopt it into your own life. When you meet someone in need, finding time to help support them and encourage them. We ask that you do these things for someone else in the same spirit you are for yourself. During dinner, please channel Papa's spirit by seeking out someone you don't know, getting to know their story, and sharing your own. Papa would have wanted us not only to celebrate his life, but to approach each day as if it was worth celebrating. Thank you.
Thanks to so many of you who have already made a donation to the Garrett School and Papa's management's Papa would have wanted to ensure that his passion for access to education is carried on through the next generation. Thank you for sharing your stories and memories. Be saving these comments from the website to the album as well. And if you want to as you exit, you to plant your own and share as Papa loved doing. Thank you all.
If in the next few moments, as everybody's exiting, we do have please stay for dinner. We've ordered plenty of food for everyone is fed just how Papa ordered it, everyone is. So thank you so much, everybody.